Greetings and welcome to another episode of Association Matters, the official PCAAE podcast for conversations on governance, leadership, and impact in the association sector. We believe that when associations thrive, societies rise. So we are your hosts. I'm Bobby.
And I'm Emily. And the topic for today's podcast is the Great Association Reset, MSAE, Navigating Business Events. In this episode, we'll hear firsthand from the Malaysian Society of Association Executives, or MSAE for short. We'll hear their story, particularly their pivotal role in the business events sector, and the concept of the Great Association Reset. It refers to a fundamental shift in how associations operate. They've moved away from traditional business as usual models and have been adapting to a post-pandemic landscape. For MSAE, this means transforming the way they approach business events, conventions, conferences, and exhibitions to ensure they remain a catalyst for economic and professional growth.
As the primary home for association professionals in Malaysia, MSAE has been the forefront of elevating the profession and building a resilient ecosystem for trade and professional bodies. Joining us in the podcast is Evelyn Lo, the Honorable Secretary of MSAE and the Executive Director of the Malaysia Shopping Malls Association.
Evelyn is a prominent figure in the Malaysian retail and property industry and has been a driving force with the Malaysian mall industry for several decades, specialising in industry advocacy, professionalism and strategic development. As one of the early pioneers for managing shopping malls in Malaysia, Evelyn has more than 30 years' experience. This has enabled her to intimately understand the nuances of shopping mall management. She is the leader in the organisation of strategic training programs and events that enhances professionalism for shopping mall personnel, elevates mall standards, and champions sustainability and embeds ESGs and SDG principles into member malls operations and events.
So, hi, Evelyn. Nice to see you again, even virtually. And thank you for gracing our podcast. So, let's start our conversation. So, as you know, associations organize meetings, learning sessions, and conferences, to name a few events for their members. I believe this is also the case for MSAE. So what do you think are the key events that MSAE currently organizes? You might cite examples and the role that MSAE plays in this regard.
Okay, just a short intro about MSAE. We were formed in 2017. That's not too long ago for an association. This was done with the support of MSAE. MSAE is a non-profit agency established in 2009 by our tourism ministry, basically to strengthen Malaysia's business tourism brand, meaning business events, expositions, exhibitions, etc. MSAE functions as a central hub to bid and ensure and secure international business events, basically the MICE, meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions to Malaysia. Now, MSAE was established to serve our Malaysian association professionals, meaning people like myself and the council members of associations throughout Malaysia. We are not that big just yet, but barely 10 years old, but we hope to nurture our members, whoever we have, to increase our membership. And this is basically for self-development, better managed associations, and professionalism. So our members consist of many associations across the board, cross-industry, from oil and gas to medical to people like me, shopping malls, retail. I think we also have people from the dentists and other professions, many professions. So we hope to be our country's leading platform for professional association leadership to empower people with knowledge, and most important, we think, is networking. Because once you know people across the industry, it's easier to get things done and to get collaborations going. That's basically what MSAE's mission is on. Just to share a little bit, in the past, we have collaborated with PCAAE, that is Philippines Council of Associations, Association Executives, whereby PCAAE accorded complimentary access for our council members to attend the Pathways to Recovery series. There's one collaboration way back in 2021 when we were quite newly minted. Then we also did some workshops on association challenges, and many of these things we do with the collaboration of MySAP, because they are basically the supporter behind MSAE. On our own, we did a couple of webinars. This was just post-pandemic, and we had held it in May 2023, July 2023, on governance and on finance and sponsorships.
Emily, MySAP is the Malaysia Convention and Exhibition Bureau.
That's right.
I
Sorry.
was about to ask. That's okay. There's a lot of acronyms in the association space. It's global. It's definitely global, Evelyn.
Yes.
Evelyn, what strategies or approaches does MSAE undertake to really make its events relevant to its members and stakeholders, and at the same time operationally successful?
Okay, I'll jump to operationally successful first, because this has a very strong bearing on what we do. Operationally, MSAE does not have a full-time secretariat. So the council members are all totally voluntary. Therefore, we need financial support from MySAP. And they are very good in organizing events whereby we become part of the program. In fact, a key part of the program. Like consistently, they have been organizing Association Day, whereby our council members, our members become their panel or their speakers. So we would say it is a very strong collaboration on Association Day. This Association Days invites people from associations throughout Malaysia. It's across industry, as I mentioned. Across the board, it can cover people from just executive in an association up to the president of the association. So the last one we did recently was just maybe last week, 6th of May. We did this, then they had more than 200 participants at Sunray Resort Hotel. A very good platform, whereby what I found important was we have cross-industry. The chemistry department, the doctors, the retail people, the logistics people, and it was a very good networking for us. So the other events that we collaborate with MySAP is on the MBEW, another acronym, Malaysian Business Events Week. They have been doing it since 2023, 2024, and 2025. And it is a series of this week, MBEW, is a series of seminars, workshops, dialogue sessions, expos, and media events that involve all sectors and participants within the business events industry. That's where we are.
Right. So it's really more on collaboration with MySAP and trying to integrate MSAE within MySAP, which is, of course, understandable because they are your main supporter, and also networking partnership with other associations that may or may not be members of MSAE. Right.
That's right.
So for our last and third question, Evelyn. So looking ahead, what does MSAE foresee as opportunities for training and capacity building for its members and stakeholders?
Well, we would like to participate and organize more online and physical events on association management matters. Things like governance, how to increase your membership, how to get money for your association, how to get money for your events. And this would facilitate cross-sector partnerships and enhance our country's competitiveness as a regional hub for business events. One thing that we found very useful for the association, for MSAE, is the Association Day, whereby we do a lot of self-networking, meaning we go and meet as many participants as we can and hopefully introduce MSAE to them if they're not already a member.
Right.
Definitely. It definitely seems like the community is very strong in Malaysia and plays an extremely important part no matter what business sector they might be in.
Yes,
Excellent.
That's right.
Thank you so much for your insights today, Evelyn. We like to wrap up our podcast for our listeners with 3 key takeaways. So key takeaway number 1 that I heard there was MSAE's journey shows how associations become a catalyst for international for national development when they combine that professionalism, collaboration, and purpose. Beyond organising events, MSAE is building a platform that strengthens governance, leadership, and innovation, and that is your goals and what you are working towards among those association executives, while positioning associations as important contributors to Malaysia's social and economic progress. Key takeaway number 2 was one of the strongest lessons from MSAE is the value of strategic partnerships. That really came through in every question and answer there. Through close collaboration with MySeb and regional partners like PCAAE, MSAE has created relevant learning platforms, networking opportunities, and industry conversations that keep members engaged while advancing Malaysia's business event ecosystem, despite operating through a volunteer-led structure, which is very impressive. Key takeaway number 3 is looking ahead. MSAE sees capacity building as essential to creating future-ready associations. So you aim to expand both online and in-person learning opportunities and encourage even further that cross-sector collaboration. So MSAE aims to equip association professionals with the skills, networks, and global perspectives needed to thrive in an increasingly connected and competitive environment.
Excellent, as usual, for your summation, Emily. And thank you again, Evelyn, for gracing our podcast. So we can do again maybe sometime with MSAE in other aspects of association management and governance. So thank you as well to our audience for joining Association Matters, where governance, leadership, and impact come together. So this podcast is brought to you by the Philippine Council of Association and Association Executives, members, and pricing for associations.
Subscribe to our podcast and visit the PCAAE website for updates and full episode notes. Until next time, thank you, Evelyn.
Thank you,
Thank
Evelyn.
you. Thank you for having me.